Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. There are electronic musical instruments with a clear purpose. Analog synths deliver classic tones and social media swag. Plugins and workstations are great tools if you actually want to make money, and Eurorack is still a healthier form of escapism than buying pills at a gas station. Today, however, we are going to talk about the Force. The mission of this unholy 2019 lovechild of an MPC and Ableton incarnate was nebulous from the beginning, and since then the machine was so profoundly transformed by a slow yet steady stream of updates that it is hard to tell whether it is still worth using it in 2026. At the first glance, Force is ticking all the insert random Star Wars meme here boxes. What looks like an early AI mock-up from a time before LLMs were even a thing has gradually evolved into yet another modern MPC. Or was it the other way around, including overpowered plugins, stem separation, and a wealth of functionality MPC non-believers like me will never be able to grasp in its full glory. Speaking of which, instead of the iconic 16 pads, Force boasts a 64 rubber thingy grid with velocity and aftertouch, which is mostly designed to emulate a Launchpad Ableton combination. There is a catch though. Yes, Force comes with a generous track count of 128, all of which can be dedicated to either classic MPC sample playback or controlling external gear via MIDI, but you can only load up to 8 plugins and or Ableton style audio tracks. While this might seem like a grave limitation for a DAW in a box, it makes sense in light of the 8x8 grid, 8 Q-Link encoders, seriously lackluster CPU, and 2 gigs of RAM. Disk streaming was added in a firmware update, so the latter is not as big of a problem as you might think. In spite of this somewhat retro spec sheet and track limitations, there are numerous reports of people being able to open contemporary MPC sessions on Force and vice versa. Please leave a comment on how that worked out for you. Exporting sessions to Ableton Live works like a charm. In addition to the easily accessible SD card slot, you can install an SSD, communicate with the outside world via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and USB host ports, let you connect a computer keyboard, but again, no mouse, which is a serious PITA given the traditionally fiddly note editing process on the otherwise crisp 7-inch touchscreen. These USB ports are better used for hooking up class-compliant MIDI and audio hardware anyway, which expands the connectivity of the instrument drastically. As we are talking about connectivity, multiple outputs and an independent headphone amp are much appreciated. First and foremost because the main outs on this particular Force are broken. Full-fledged mic and instrument inputs are great, mini jack MIDI not so much, but the modular crowd will embrace the CV gate output. The aforementioned defects aside, build quality is rugged. I've never used Cat 5 Ableton Link as the Wi-Fi version works great. There are no speakers, no internal battery, but hey, it's got a crossfader. There might be a correlation between Akai's update policy and used prices of the discontinued Force. Thanks to DJ the Darksider for lending me his desk model. Akai Force in its current updated state has very little to do with the device that was originally brought to the market. Is the big chunk of old hardware still up to the job? You have already heard Force in today's intro tune. Why are most modern hardware synths worse than Akai's plugin suite? Time to embrace its hyped tonality in the first jam. Obvious visual cues taken from Ableton aside, that's basically a bulky yet less powerful MPC. The stock sounds are very 2010s and the pads have a nice feel to them. Force comes with a promise of being an excellent doorless centerpiece. Let's hook up a few synths and explore more traditional MPC territory. That worked pretty well, if you don't mind the DAW-like workflow. Controlling external gear is a breeze. Depending on your MPC skills, you still might be faster on a computer though. It has become obvious that I'm a big fan of the factory content. I wanna know how it fares as a sound generator hooked up to a DAW, for it might sound like a broken CD player, but let's pretend it's an artistic decision. Click, hop, micro hop. Verdict. It might sound strange, but I had a hard time finding out what Force can and can't do in its current form and how it differs from other MPCs. To be honest, I still don't really know. The update history is a long and winding road. Most of the available information stems from forum and social media posts, and in spite of its discontinuation, Akai still treats it as part of the MPC ecosystem. That's undeniably great, but also raises the question for how long they will keep supporting it given its age and subpar technical specifications. Until recently, instruments like Force were mostly elaborate toys for people who wanted to get away from computer screens while making music. But in view of 2026 RAM prices and the growing necessity to prove that your music wasn't just prompted in Suno, going doorless might actually be a rational decision. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and use one of the links down below that support the channel regardless of what your gas commands you to buy. Thanks to all my patrons for supporting the channel and welcome to the monthly shoutouts. We are going to use the Waldorf microQ Vocoder Tier 4. Different creatures. Tier 6. Dagobert Michelsen, BMJ, The Village Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you next month.